Life can be hard. That's just the truth. But what if I told you one realization could flip your entire world upside down? And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what that is and exactly how to apply it to your life. Hello friends, and welcome back. And if it's your first time here, my name's Lindy. I went from a broken woman to a strong, confident badass. Now I help women see their potential, change their mindset, and grow fulfilling lives. If that's something you'd like to do, go ahead and subscribe and stick around. If your life feels like you're stuck, maybe in a pit or a really dark place, and you just can't figure out how to get out of it, I get it. I've been there. And in those places, it's really hard to see and understand your situation. Think about it. If you feel like you're stuck in a pit, it's dark, right? And we are not nocturnal beings. You're not a bat. You're not a raccoon. You're not a cat. Therefore, seeing in the dark is not your superpower. But you do have a superpower. However, it's not very sexy. But if you stick around to the end of this video, you'll see that not sexy doesn't mean not powerful. And if you will learn to use your superpower, everything in your life is going to change. So if you're not interested in changing something, then don't bother watching the rest of this video. This is only for superheroes. This is for people who are ready to make a change. Okay, ready? Brace yourself. Here it is. Here is your non-sexy superpower. Choice. Yeah, that's right. Choice. You making a choice is your superpower. And if you will learn to use your superpower of choice, you will rise up out of any dark situation that you currently find yourself in. Guaranteed. In other words, you are one choice away from freedom. I first discovered this superpower of choice when I was about 45 years old. And this is how it happened. I was in the darkest part of my life, very unhappy, and I was taking a walk around the park. And I'm crying as usual, complaining and moaning and whining and praying about my situation, how I was just so desperate to be out of it. And I remember I had this pivotal revelation. I can picture right where I was standing. You know how that happens when something's powerful and you just will never forget the moment. And I'm looking at this little tree that someone had planted with a dog in memory of their dog, right? And I'm crying, I want this, I want that, I'm so miserable, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I heard in my heart. Happiness is a choice. I didn't hear an audible voice, but I may as well have. It was that powerful. It just came to me. Lindy, you have a choice to make right now, once and for all. You've wasted 45 years. Isn't that enough? What's your decision? Are you going to choose to be a happy person or an unhappy person? Obviously, that can sound confusing. I mean, you're looking at your situation and it's miserable and I'm supposed to be happy. How does that even work? Okay, let me explain. Now, I know this could get a little tricky, but just bear with me and you will understand. This is what I had to see. Everything I was seeing on the outside was first coming from a perspective and a belief that I was having on the inside. I was waiting for people and things on the outside to change before I was going to internally decide to be a happy person. Now, why is this so dangerous and power-sucking? If you're waiting for somebody else to change, or a job to change, or a situation to change, or something outside of yourself to change before you're going to be happy, then all of your power, all of your happiness power is in somebody else's or something else's control. It is not in your control. You are not able to be happy if you do not make that choice first. You are giving others your power, or other things your power, if you are allowing the circumstance to control what you want. Let me explain. After I had this realization that happiness was a choice, now remember, I am seeing a lot of bad things in my life at this time, and I am in tears crying. I do not feel happy at all. But I said to myself, I said, okay, if happiness is a choice, then I'm going to choose to be happy. So I'm literally crying. I'm walking through the park and I'm like crying. I choose to be happy. And like, if anybody heard or saw me, I mean, I could have been like grabbed and thrown in the nut ward. Like I was acting crazy according to what it appeared outwardly. And I'm like, I choose to be happy. And I'm yelling this out. And I was heading to the tennis wall at the time. And I get to the wall and I'm hitting the ball back and forth. I'm happy. I choose to be a happy person. I'm rich. I have tons of friends. I'm just so happy. And my life is wonderful and beautiful. And I'm saying all the things I wanted out loud. I was making the choice that these were the things that I had, that I was going to have. I was making the choice to have the kind of a life that I wanted to have. Now, after this, like after 30, 45 minutes goes by of doing this, I actually started to feel happy. I actually started to feel all this heaviness lift, and I was feeling better. But I had to go back home and I had to go back into the unhappy situation I was living in. And that was the challenging part, was now that I've decided to make this choice and make a shift in my mindset, I still had to go back into my circumstances that were extremely miserable for multiple reasons. If you stick with me now, by the end of this video, you will completely understand the relevance of making choice to be whatever it is, or to have whatever it is you want manifested in your life. Here are the actual steps that I took once I realized that my superpower to change my situation was I just had to make a choice that was what my life was going to be. That was what my life already was, even though in my house it didn't look like it. Here are the steps I had to take. The first step was I had to decide what I wanted. Well, that was really easy for me because there were like 3 big ones that I could just rattle off right off the top of my head. And the first one was my marriage. I decided I was going to be happily married. I am a happily married woman became my mantra. Number 2 was that I weighed a certain amount of weight. And number 3 was financial increases. Here I am, right? Now I made this choice to be happy, but it's not manifested. I'm still in the midst of a miserable thing. I'm still 30 pounds overweight and I'm still broke. The second step after making your choice and knowing what you want is you have to write it down. And here's why. This is what I did. I wrote down, I am happily married. I choose to be a happy person. I am a happy woman. Number 2, I weigh blah, 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 whatever that was that I wanted to weigh. And number 3, I am earning X amount of dollars. And I also made a vision board. These are very common tools that people use to reach goals and manifest. So what I did was I took a married couple, I hung it on my vision board, I put a head of me and my husband at the time, and I also got a picture of a body and I stuck my head at the top of that body and I put some dollar bill pictures and some amounts. So I had my confessions and I had my vision board. But why and how did this help me? The reason is super important is because when you're in the midst of those difficult situations, it is an extremely emotional time. You know how it is. It's upsetting, it's hurt, and it's hurtful, and all you can see is what's in front of you. It's nearly impossible to remember what you envisioned in your heart and the decision and the choice you made to be the opposite of what you're seeing. Therefore, to have it written down, to have it on a vision board and keeping it before your eyes, it's a reminder. So when you're hearing the noise of your sucky life, you're going, no. You're saying to yourself, no, That is not me. That is not my life. This is my life. And you're pointing to your vision board and you're reading your confessions and your notes and you're saying, this is my life. I am this. I have chosen this. I have chosen to be a happy woman. I have chosen to weigh this much. And you're building, you're making it concrete. You're helping it get roots and grow deep inside you and to make you unshakable. Your outward circumstances are going to resist what you're building on the inside, and they're going to try to shake you up and get you distracted. Your list and your goals and your vision board and your reminders of the choices you have already made are going to help you remain secure and dedicated and determined to follow this whole thing through. And number 3, keep that list before your eyes. Let me give you an example of that. In the midst of my most difficult time, I literally wrote out some confessions and kept them in my pocket. When I would go to work, when I would leave my bedroom and then enter my circumstance in the house, or I would go for walks or anywhere, if I was having like these emotional oppositions of what I was seeing in reality, I would take that list out of my pocket and I would look at it and I would be like, no, this is what I've chosen. I've chosen to be a happy woman. I've chosen to weigh this. I've chosen this finance. The main one again was a happy marriage. Now I guarantee you, if you will hold strong to your choice, it will manifest. This is how it manifested for me. Now, a lot of different circumstances and answers started manifesting after I made the choice. And then I had to do the work and go through the process of change and growth that I needed to do internally to manifest these things. But none of them would have manifested if I didn't first make the choice that this was the way my life was going to be. So after doing this for 2-3 years or more, it took time and it was a process, a painful one, but I got there. I ended up with a happy marriage, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting that the marriage I was in was going to change. And I do believe that that does happen for people. If both parties are willing to go through the necessary changes and admit what their issues are and grow, then I totally believe that that marriage can turn into a happy one. That relationship can turn into a happy one. But if only one person is going to agree to go through the work, then eventually you're going to find yourselves on different paths. And that's what I did, and ended up leaving that marriage. But I held on to that choice and decided I already am a happy woman, and I already was having experiences of things outwardly that were confirming my internal happiness. And one of those was I was miraculously got rekindled in a relationship with a former love from many, many, many years ago. And we are so happily married. And the point is that you will eventually manifest the choice you've made, but it may not come about the way that you expect. In fact, it's probably not going to. Even the weight loss, like I lost the 30 pounds and then some. But it didn't come the way I expected. It came through a lot of stress and a lot of sadness and a lot of grief. But hey, I'll take it, right? Now I'm not stressed, I'm not unhappy, and I'm not grieving, but I've maintained that particular manifestation. Yay! And thirdly, the same thing with the finances. Like I totally increased financially, but in a career that I've never considered in my entire life, and come to find out, I got a gift. I'm pretty good at it. And there you go. It didn't happen the way I expected, but it happened. In conclusion, your superpower is choice. Make the choice to be happy or whatever it is you want. Make the choice to have a certain career. Make the choice to have a certain house or a certain car, and stay focused on that. And the steps to get there will appear. It's inevitable. Decide what you want and make the choice to have it. Say it out your mouth and write it down. Put it before your eyes on a vision board to lock and secure it and get it to grow roots in your heart. You have to have it internally before you see it externally. Keep it on you at all times. Keep it before your eyes so you don't forget what it is you've already decided, what you've already chosen in the midst of the noise that's all around you every single day. The outward world is going to try to steal this choice from you. It's going to try to rob you. I guarantee it. Listen, friends, I really appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you find strength from listening to this video. And I also hope that you'll come back again really soon and look for more.